So this is going to be a video in regards to Josh Kelly versus David Avanesyan. This fight has been on the cards for, I would say, well over a year, to be honest. Um, I mean, it got in the last time they were supposed to fight. The fight got called off on the day of the fight. Um, because I believe Josh Kelly had come down with some type of illness or a bug or something. But yeah, trainer and manager Adam Booth decided to pull his man from the fight, which is, I guess, the right thing to do. If you're not 100%, it doesn't matter how close to the fight you are. There's always that option of choosing to fight another day. I know it's not ideal for travelling fans and ticket buyers and people who've booked hotels and all the rest of it. It's not ideal at all. But in regards to fighter safety and careers and longevity, I think it makes sense that if you're not right, you pull out the fight. But yeah, this is more about the needle that initial pullout was created. So since the pullout of this fight, it's been rescheduled again, and there was a big press conference, and David Avanesyan's trainer, I believe, is Carl Greaves, and his manager is Neil Marsh. And Josh Kelly's trainer and manager, I believe, is I know his trainer is Adam Booth. I'm not sure if that's his manager. It quite possibly is, but yeah, there was some. It got really, really, really heated at the press conference. Neil Marsh. I think he broke an unwritten rule in boxing. Um, he did a bit of a Frank Warren and started pulling out emails and private conversations between himself and Adam Booth, and I think he was trying really coming out with some stuff that was quite slanderous towards Adam Booth, to be honest, trying to discredit him, telling the fans that he's a con artist and all the rest of it, all the other carry on that you sort of get, but you don't usually see that between managers. But yeah, so it got rescheduled, big press conference. It was going to happen, and then the coronavirus global pandemic happened, and the fight got rescheduled for the end of January, Jan 30th, I believe it was, and then the lockdown got announced again, so the fight was again postponed due to boxing being cancelled in January. So, but the fight has been rescheduled. We will see it, and I think it's going to be a very, very, very good fight. Initially, when the fight was first made, I think I thought it would have been a little bit too early for Josh Kelly. Although he's a very talented lad and he's clearly working hard in the gym, developing as a pro, I thought Avanesyan was a little bit too seasoned for him, a little bit too cooked. But I think Kelly's had an additional year in the gym to learn, develop, and I think now the fight is much more suited. The timing of the fight, rather, is much more suited towards Josh Kelly. But David Avanesyan is, he is a proven fighter. He knocked out the former European champion, the Spanish guy, twice, and the Spanish lad that had wins over Bradley Price, Frankie Gavin. Not too bad when you think about the quality of those lads, especially Frankie Gavin. He was a standout amateur. But yeah, so I think Avanesyan, he's got good wins. He's boxed Shane Mosley. He's got some good wins. He's been beat. He's been stopped once. Kelly hasn't really had that acid test, so to speak. He boxed the American Ray Robinson, and he was winning the fight effectively I think he switched off, got a little bit lazy, couldn't quite get away with the normal showboating trickery that he usually does against sort of the lower level opposition, and got caught with shots, and he ended up the fight ended up being a draw against Ray Robinson. You could have given the fight either way by a round, but it got the fight got announced a draw. Um, there was no rematch. They didn't fight again. But yeah, Kelly's relatively inexperienced in a professional ranks. Obviously, a standout amateur. A GB kid. Yeah, he's good. It's a real good fight. I don't want to call it a trade fight because I think it's a little bit more than that. I think this is officially Josh Kelly's acid test. You beat Avanesyan, and you pretty much announce yourself to the boxing hardcores, and I think you pretty much cement the Conor Benn fight. Although I think Josh Kelly's far ahead of Conor Benn in terms of development, in terms of where he is, and I don't think Conor Benn should even be in the same conversation as Josh Kelly. But Sky Matchroom, both Sky Matchroom fighters, so makes sense to keep it in house, have a massive domestic fight. So if Kelly wins, he puts himself in the mix for that. If Avanesyan wins, I'm guessing they're going to look to have a rematch, or if Kelly doesn't want the rematch, Avanesyan will move on to bigger things. But I just think it's a really intriguing fight. If I had to pick a winner now, I think I would have to pick Josh Kelly to win the fight. I think David Avanesyan's a good, solid pro, good fighter. Has quite a come forward, educated pressure type style. But I think Kelly, if he's switched on and he's able to walk Avanesyan onto shots, and sort of preserve his energy, he needs to fight in short spurts against Avanesyan. Walk him onto shots, just touch him up, go heavy downstairs, go heavy upstairs, move on, move off, use his jab. I think Kelly's got that star quality, but it's whether he can get away with, because he has a very, I don't want to say flashy, but he has a very expressive style. He likes to express himself in the ring. So whilst I enjoy that, I think you can be in a situation where you're able to do it, not because your skill set is so high, but you're able to do it because you're getting away with it. Your opposition is not quite to the standard needed, so you're able to get away with it. I'm not sure he'll be able to get away with it versus Avanesyan. I think Avanesyan will pressure him and put him under big pressure, and throw shots up close that Kelly can't afford to drop his hands and flash, showboat, and he certainly won't be able to hit Avanesyan with 5, 6, 7 left hooks up against the ropes without expecting something to come back. So I mean, he's in good hands. He's in the gym, he's learning, he's with Adam Booth. So I'm sure they've got a fantastic game plan to beat Avanesyan. But for me, I think his key to winning the fight is box smart. Try and stand your ground at times, but also move and walk Avanesyan onto shots. You don't want to give away too much ground against Avanesyan and allow him to gain confidence or momentum. So you wanna box smart. You want to let him know that, show him something. You want to let him know you can punch a little bit, or at least you've got power for him to respect. So maybe touch him downstairs early, touch him upstairs, but just box and use your boxing ability. Walk him onto shots. So I think I would, at this stage now, a year on from when they were initially meant to fight, I think I would have to go with Josh Kelly to win on points. But it's not a fight where Kelly has it all his own way. This is the true acid test. If he beats Avanesyan, he goes on to bigger, better things. You know, Avanesyan is solid opposition. But it'll be a great spectacle to watch. It'll be a great fight. The build up will be brilliant. Fight week is going to be, it's going to be real feisty stuff between Kelly, Avanesyan, Booth, Marsh. And yeah, I think Sky viewers are in for a bit of a treat, really, and we shall see how the fight translates on fight night. But either way, I mean, I don't particularly have a guy that I particularly wish to win or want to win. Objectively speaking, just based on what I think of both guys and stylistically, I think Kelly wins on points. I think Avanesyan gives him some tough spells in the fight. Makes Josh go places he hasn't been yet as a pro. But I think Josh will weather. I think Josh can weather that storm. He's got to let Avanesyan. He's got to show Avanesyan something early. He's got to weather them middle rounds, and then I think he'll pull away with the fight. As long as he doesn't get hurt or disheartened, I think Josh Kelly wins the fight on points. And Avanesyan's just Avanesyan. He's tough as nails. Doesn't have bad boxing skills. I'm not sure. He's a pressure fighter. He's gonna have to jab his way, and he's not gonna be able to just walk into range against Kelly and hope he can sit on Kelly's chest. He's gonna have to work to cut that range, and it's for Kelly to make him pay on the way in. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Josh Kelly against David Avanesyan. I think Josh Kelly wins on points in a hard fight. I think he comes for his first acid test as a professional.